But while I'm doing this, I can already tell you, hello and welcome back to my stream today, where we're going to be playing more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Well, last week we created a super battleship, and it's going to be done in like 4 years. It's going to be hilarious when it finally arrives with its 8 17-inch guns. You were more tired than... yesterday you were more tired as fuck than usual, and today you're more tired as fuck than that. That's not good. Maybe you should decide to go sleep earlier. You should decide to get a new job. Is it that bad? Didn't you... I don't know when you told me that you got the job, but... I guess it probably was a while by now. And sometimes it takes a moment for you to realize that you not really vibe well with the job. But hey, it is what it is. The city isn't built for physical labor? Ah. That would explain it. That would explain it. Just quickly post it here as well. There we go. So that's at least the link posted in places. But I'm still very confused about what the hell is going wrong with my file browser. Because I wanted to start with Dreadnought today, but I can't see anything. Which is really, really weird. But let's get past that issue for the moment, as I'm just going to load into the campaign before I waste away even more time, because I've been fiddling around with it before stream, as you can probably guess by the fact that I'm more late than usual. Yeah, and I have no idea what's causing it. I might just need a Windows restart, and that's probably what I should try. Shell nearly 1.5 metric tons of a spice mix, that's like 90% nutmeg. That would be absolutely horrible for your throat. Nutmeg irritates the throat extremely badly when it's in large quantities, so yeah, I can feel that. Probably. I haven't had to deal with it myself, but yeah. Also, I got cookies, which is pretty nice. They're not technically cookies in the usual sense, but I'm pretty sure that you know them at least, because it's Doppelkekse. Not the originals, but, you know. But here we are again, as we are invading Russia. On 3 fronts. This is a token offense yet again. Like, 53,000 soldiers, they know that we're gonna succeed. Russians have no chance. So, what we can do over here, though, before we start the next bit... Eastern Siberia has Magadan. Yeah, we should probably be able to deal with these guys. The enemy really doesn't have much in terms of forces here. So let's just move stuff. You thought we'll find what you're gonna look like a Quagmire from Family Guy when he was only working out on his arms. Ah, yes. Submarines, there's the submarines. So this would be Eastern Siberia. Can we invade already? The back isn't happy with it either. Yeah, that's just normal. Naval invasion? Eastern Siberia? No, we can only invade Georgia right now. And Georgia is a bit in the wrong direction. Should be right around here. Actually... We don't have anything directly next to it, I guess. I guess we're gonna have to wait until we can invade Eastern Siberia from the next turn onwards. I need to actually make sure that Russia keeps one port at least. That's very good. Mark 5 3-inch guns, also very good. 23-inch torpedoes, pretty good. Okay. Solomon Islands. Sure. It's a bit random, but that's a big port here, actually. Comparatively. The only problem is that we need some tonnage in return. That should be about 10,000. Maybe a little bit more. Bellew, no, doesn't have anything. We moved most of the stuff that we had in the area. You know what? You captured Russian dumbass battleship going to be used for something. For once. Because I'm pretty sure that I used everything else in the area apart from like some light cruisers. Light cruisers, submarines. Oh hey, since when did you control Dalian and Port Arthur? Damn. That's new. That's also gonna be mine soon, Manchuria. Probably wasn't hitting a third because they got so low that huh. You know who might be in the area? Just a roundabout. It'll probably take them a while to get back there. Oh, actually we have some bigger light cruisers in the area as well. That's pretty nice. The Pharaoh was taking part in another island conquest. At this point, they're just our training ship, I guess. Magdeburg. Relatively random name here. Oh, it's pretty good cruisers that we're moving now. And they are pretty big, so we should actually reach the 40,000 tons. And Rostock. Do we have anything else in the area? There's 3 destroyers. There's 2 destroyers. We could bring up more if we needed to, essentially. When you signed up for the job, you thought you'd be spending most of your time in a little quality control lab, testing products, and now that's what you do the least of? Well, that's not great. That's not great at all. Submarine warfare flights. Auto resolve. Saxon transports. We. I don't think the Russians have anything else they can throw at us. They have this battleship here, which is apparently sailing straight into this entire Austro-Hungarian fleet. Actually, who's currently happy with us and who isn't? Just making sure here. Okay, we should probably, you know, improve relations with them a little bit if we can. Just, you know, a little bit. The Austrians are not particularly dangerous, but they could interrupt us on our conquering tour through the Black Sea, which, hey, that would be annoying. A meeting. Oh, that's interesting. What are we meeting? And, more importantly, where are we meeting them? Fleets affect bilateral relations as follows. Yep. Nikolai or Nikolai. I thought the one in the Gods Online campaign was stupid, but man, this one's even dumber. Oh, Nikolai. What did you do? Pause here for a second. As we need to organize some things. For example, all destroyers. Just turn around. Just go away. Like cruisers, turn around and go away. Heavy cruisers, turn around and go away. You and that fleet with them. The battle cruiser can turn around and go away. You can also turn around and go away. You're going to be split up. Turn around, turn around, turn around. We're going to make this a fair fight. It's going to be battleship against battleship. And with that I mean, we're going to run our Wolf right into the enemy. And they're going to be sad. They're going to be so sad at the fact that they're going to run into the fleet's leading ship. There's some tiny little accidents over here. You can slow down. You can slow down. You can slow down. Just going to slow all of the fleets down to 0. Well, the Vault will just continue in the direction that the radar's pinging. 30 knots, straight ahead. Full steam ahead. This thing is still very nasty looking, but I really want to replace those old 15 inches with some slightly more modern ones. Because they're going to be the same caliber of guns, but they're going to be so much more good looking. Now the enemy is almost certainly not going to be able to run away from us. They'll try, because it's definitely one of the battles where they have a no-show. But they're still close enough to be in 10 times speed range, so they're struggling. And more importantly, this thing is fast, all things considered. It's going 30.4 knots, and the enemy is certainly not. Still enemy straight ahead. Slight course adjustment, I'm guessing. That's on the weekend you might find enough energy to start playing Armored Core 6. It's pretty fun. I tried it on Monday, as you maybe saw. Actually, I don't know if you were there. I think you were. I think you were talking to me, actually. But yeah, it's pretty fun. The only thing that I'm kind of sad about is the fact that I don't know what kind of emblem to make for myself. Color schemes are not that difficult. I'm gonna figure something out. But an emblem, that's difficult. Because I would like to have something unique, but I don't know anything. Like, I could just go with GDI and art and stuff, but yeah. You were there and you know... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And again, my point stands. It's very different from the usual mech game. It's not the kind of game where... Like, it could have been just a normal combat game. It didn't need to be a mech game to have the gameplay of this. It could have, for all that I cared, it could have been a jet fighter game, or a tank game. The gameplay probably would have been the same arcade mess. But it's not really a mess, it's pretty fun. Yep, we've approached the enemy. They're straight ahead, and they're struggling to run. Look at this archaic bullshit. And now compared to this. I don't know why only one of our turrets is... Oh no, actually, we're firing 2 turrets. Six shells out. Actually pretty close to them, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. The enemy will definitely struggle to disengage from us here. We're in secondary range. If nothing else, we're just gonna burn them to the ground. For the moment, we're struggling to... I'm gonna pause the high explosive here. For the secondaries. It's just Japanese style mechs that kind of flies around the Mach 7 with energy sword and yes, the number of missiles. That's not even it. Like, even most of those games still have the problem of showing a tank being absolutely useless. Like, sorry bro, but if you have a tank with the same gun that a mech can carry, the tank's gonna win every fight. Unless you are in a territory where you can't possibly get a tank into, like, I don't know, an extremely vertical city. What's your top speed, Nikolai? 22 knots. Yeah, we're a little bit faster. So far, no fires have been started. Not surprising. Lots of non-pens with high explosive shells. To be fair, the thing doesn't really have much deck stuff. What's your armor? That's a lot of deck armor, though. Apart from the fall deck. There we go. Starting to really hit it with the high explosive shells. Also, I think that... Oh, no, wait, that was actually an armor-piercing shell that penetrated the belt. Oh, you mean, you take a tank chassis and slap a Maxwell's on it? That doesn't actually change the fact that the tank would still probably win, because the problem is the form factor and the layout of armor. Combined with the fact that the gun would still be the same. On a far less sophisticated system. Because all you need is an elevation rotor and a turret turn rotor, essentially. And then, of course, loading systems, but that is the same. That has to happen in a mech as well. So, whether you have a mech or a tank, the gun doesn't care. However, if you have an arm or a mounting system like an arm, that is already stupid. Well, the enemy is just going to be constantly on fire from now on. 3 inches of firing now, non-stop. Unfortunately, for once, the armor build's actually fairly well laid out. The enemy's still running away from us. Stop that. The guy probably cares that the tank has a much more stable platform to fire from, just from the center of mass being so much lower. Yeah, essentially. Like, the rate of fire is going to be the same. The accuracy of a shot is going to be the same, but it's probably going to be faster to aim with a tank. And, again, the defense is going to be much easier as a tank. Because 1, you're a smaller target, 2, you can focus the armor on the spots that will probably be hit, and 3, you don't have fuckloads of joints everywhere that just have to be hit once in order to stop working. Because you don't need to destroy a joint, you just have to jam it. So far, the enemy has been hit 1,000 times by our secondaries consecutively. Let's set you to auto for a moment there, see what happens. So thinking that some of the guns will probably load armor piercing. The good thing is that they're constantly losing soldiers, so eventually they'll die. All things considered. A little bit of low accuracy on the secondaries. The problem is just that they have enough armor to deflect most of the shots that we're firing at them from here with our secondaries. The good thing is we have more than enough ammo to just keep going. It's a very large ship with a lot of secondaries. It's a nice ricochet you saw there, enemy. 1,600 shell hits by secondaries that have been blocked. Nice hits, partial pen. Psychological damage. Imagine you're just on the ship and it's just constantly raining. Raining, raining, raining. But not normal rain, it's just a rain of high explosive shells. You just have to stay on the deck the whole time, as you're just getting peppered. Because this is a lot of secondary guns firing. And we're slowly but surely closing into a distance where we can probably just bonk them. The penetration chance right now of our main guns is 0%. I didn't look. What happened there? So partial pen or full pen? Partial pen. But enough to flood us, unfortunately. If you'd hear 1,600 shells hit the armor, you'd lose your fucking mind. It'd just be... Overpen! Flooding! Didn't it just say that we have a no chance of penetrating? Okay, that was a weird one. At this point we're so close, the enemy literally can't turn away from us anymore. They're just going to be... Okay, that was a full penetration. Nasty. That was a better penetration. That 0% of penetration chances are kind of lying, I think. Son of pressure slowly melting your brain. Well, they overpenned a secondary gun. Partial pen. Oh, they are getting close enough where they are definitely going to be able to penetrate us. So we're now on 3.7 kilometers distance. And at 3 kilometers distance, they probably have about 40 inches of penetration. So they're going to be able to penetrate our belt. The thing is just, we're definitely going to be able to penetrate their belt as well. They're just constantly turning away from us, which is annoying. They are halfway flooded. Okay, let's turn straight towards them. See how they like that. It's probably not going to be that effective. Ba-dong. That's a flooding at aft. That's a flooding. Probably also at aft. Yep. It's flooding the same compartment that's already been flooded before. They're just in a constant turn, which is really annoying because we're struggling to catch up to them. But right now, at least, we're dealing good damage with the secondaries. Now we're ricocheting stuff again. 74% chance to hit. Straight to the ass. Bong. Bonk bonk. Now we've gotten so close that the 5 times speed doesn't work anymore. Unfortunate. Partial pens. Now, we can't really flood them to death anymore. We're literally just working on fire and killing their crew. Because, unfortunately, the enemy is... Do we have you nearby? Where are you? miles away. Do I just end the battle? I should have done this with one battleship so that it just end the battle, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. If we approach them again, or rather, if they approach us again, we're going to change the approach and attack them with 2 ships, because even 2 ships would already be good enough to outflank them. But hey, mistakes have been made, lessons have been learned, we didn't lose anything. Good enough. Okay. Well, there goes Southern Russia. What do we have here? A mixed bag of new and old ships. Hey, why not? Oh, you wanted to go to port to repair yourself? No, that's unfortunate, isn't it? That port's not yours anymore. Actually, we have a fleet here, perfectly fit to kill you. Everyone else will prepare at the border to the next territory, and slowly but surely reduce the size of the minefield. Because the minefields are something that we do not want to run into. Prepare the mine, not layers, but the minesweeping equipment. Hello? Didn't I tell you to, like, move to here? I just realized that these aren't even helping. They're just there. 5 heavy cruisers. Actually, no. Just a few heavy cruisers. 4 heavy cruisers are more like cruiser. Just chilling. The Jericho with its fleet is also here. Ready to strike yet again. You're probably helping. You're just kind of sitting there, so let's just move you as well. Okay. Next up. The invasion of Eastern Siberia. Shall be started. 28,000 tons? No, that's easy. That's nothing whatsoever. Okay, the good thing is that we already captured part of the stuff that inches into here, but not this part yet, because this belongs to Eastern Siberia as well, I think. Yes, it does. I really hope we don't have to move to that port. We might have to, though. And then soon, eventually, we're gonna have to move over to America and somehow capture these ports, which is gonna be ridiculous. We're not gonna get a 100% chance on those, for sure. That's just not happening. What's this offensive? 2 million soldiers waltzing into fucking... Okay, yeah. This is a token attack. Everyone else is just, walking to Lithuania. Well, next turn. Huh, interesting. The Ottoman Empire is actually building ships of their own. That's neat. They're not a nation I can attack, which is unfortunate. but it is what it is. Okay. Manchuria of the Soviet Union has been conquered by the German Empire. We lost 20,000 soldiers, they lost 60,000. And another naval invasion has been started. And another major offensive has been started. Russian Far East from Manchuria. Well, that's gonna be a bit difficult, but you can try. You certainly can try. Damn it. I had a feeling that would happen. We have to move to the other port. Okay. Well, it shouldn't take too long to relocate these fleets. Meow. That would probably already be enough, but let's move more. We should also check on our conquest in a moment, if we can. Satellite view, just scrolling across. Fritjof Ossenmark against Zerdla on the way. So that's two fleets moving. They're going to move down here. Probably because this is all one sort of landmass. And another big battleship fleet. Sooner rather than later, we're going to have to go to war with America here. And we're going to have to do something about their fleets, because they have so much tonnage. Like, not in these ports. Alaska should be fairly easy to overrun. But then, the moment we start hitting actual American mainland territory, there is such big ports here. It's ridiculous. They've been left alone for far too long. Honestly, the same thing is probably going to be true of Japan once we try them. It's a 50-50. There's some really big ports, but they're not bunched up as they are in America. Over to the left we go. The good thing is though that we have a resupply line here. It's not going to be a particularly large port over there that we can use to resupply our largest battleships. For that, we're going to have to return to some of our mainland stuff over here. Probably take over something in the area. Vladivostok would probably be the closest one. These ones are also still a little bit too small. Well, sure, we're going to move the submarines as well. Why not? You know, safe, better safe than sorry. Okay, never mind. Can't move the submarines there. They can't operate out of nowhere. They have to be near bases. So, let's just move them to Petropavlovsk. And these submarines move back to where they came from. Roundabout, somewhere. Let's go to Tsingtao. Our first original port in the area. And our landing bay for the entire eastern operation. Now, eventually we're going to have to move on to these ports over here as well, but they're all not really bunched up, and also they're not particularly big either. Russia, funnily enough, for naval invasions, doesn't seem to be that hard enough to crack. They don't have particularly large ports, either. Like, anywhere. Kronstadt, 155k. That's the largest one I've found so far. It's also Central Russia. Taking Central Russia, their main economy would just be taking Kronstadt. That would be very funny. So let me just quickly check who is currently being, or what's currently being built. Building, 29 months. König Arthur and Kaiserin. That's actually a good name as well. With 17.7-inch guns. 420mm, actually 419mm, something like that it was. Lots and lots of light cruisers. We have used so many light cruisers names that by now the light cruisers got fucking destroyer names. That's funny. Conquest is... there's still more coming, so there's that. For the moment, it's looking okay, but we're about to get another 20,000, 30,000 tons extra, so it should be good. I just realized. Actually, no, it's probably normal. Is it normal? Was it French New Guinea at some point? I don't know. I don't know if the names of areas changes. It would be very funny if they did, but I doubt it. The Russians are not doing well right now, though. And it's continuing to be very bad for them. Well, these fleets can now move in closer to Poti. As most of the minefield has been removed. There is currently one heavy cruiser here. But it's one heavy cruiser. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fine. In other words, we're gonna start another naval invasion into Georgia. It should not be too difficult. Okay, I have to wait a ton. Let's just check our relations with other people. 64 with Britain. That's kind of low. I would like to increase that relation a bit. Like, the Austrians are not that big a danger. We could probably run over the Austrians and take most of Central Europe as well, while we're taking Eastern Europe at the same time. But I would like to be done with one thing and then move to the next. It is the British have just committed a crime against humanity. They have scrapped the Warspite. Now, it was a heavy cruiser in this universe, but that was a fucking war crime IRL as well. Scrapping the most decorated and long-lived battleship in history. I know they were broke, but man, that's a shame. Rude? Very rude. Got the depth charges, that's fine. Hey, big stuff for Britain. Crane changed hands? Excuse me? Oh, that was the land defensive that had to stop. Yes. Yes, yes. Look at Moldova, the tiny Russian territory between Austria and Germany. Well. Russia, we come with another proposal for a naval invasion. Georgia shall be ours. Let's just check on the naval invasion on the left side. They're not quite there yet. They'll be there soon. Huh. Why are the Russian ships running to America? Is America at war with them as well? Oh boy, they are. They're sending every single thing towards the Americans and completely disregarding the fact that the mainland is getting captured. Oh boy. I think I know a better entry point to the area, at least. Interesting. Because Maine only seems to have one port. It's a very big port, and we can use it to repair any of our ships if we get it. But still, it's only one port. So we have two routes we can theoretically take. And that is the Alaskan route, going through western USA, which is probably not a bad idea, but I'm not quite sure. There's a lot of American ships around. But yeah. We shall move these three, because they are quite the large fleet. We shall move them like around here somewhere. Just leave them there. Wait, there was an overburdened port somewhere. Okay, that wasn't ours. It was the British all along. The British are trying to capture more and more of Africa here. Still want someone to capture Egypt, so I can take it off of them. Oh, next turn. Still like the fact that Spain is just cornered to one island. Triple turrets on destroyers. Nice. Torpedo contact exploder, so that's less dot chance. Very good. Yeah, you can have some destroyers. That's fine. Okay. A bunch of territories are trying to rebel against Britain. Naval invasion says 100% already. We haven't even moved half of our current fleet into the area. They're just chilling outside, waiting for anything to try to leave. You're gonna move into that battleship. Show him with boss. What do we have here? 2 light cruisers. You can just do whatever you want, I don't care. Submarine fights. Auto-resolve, sync and transports. It's good. And apparently, apart from that, the enemy is not really doing anything. It's a 73% chance that we get this. Would be nice to have a fairly large port in the area. But do we have anything else in the area? Some light cruisers and... Why are you chilling there? I was fairly certain I sent you here as well, but hey, apparently I did not. That's more tonnage. Hollandia, nope. Does this place have big ports? Doesn't look like it, no. Australia is not worth to capture. We might just contain the British in Australia. Update missions. This is fine. I should have probably checked on the other invasion as well. Advanced mines, good. Something with an alliance just was announced. Are we not in an alliance with Japan anymore? No, we are. Oh, they signed an alliance with Italy? But why? I don't get it. But sure, I guess. Whatever floats your boat. Oh. $100%. No surprise there. Okay. Intercept the battleship. No mercy. Oh, hey.
See the future. The world is at my fingertips. Time for questioning is over.
Fear me, you tiny little Russian fox. For I am everywhere. Yeah, this is still very ambitious. I could tell that was not going to work out. That was not going to work out either. I would like to have these two ports because they're fairly big. But for the moment... Should we take a quick look into the ship design and see what else we can do? So we got a few new technologies. So let's just take a quick peek. Now, anything that we build in terms of battleships should be more reasonable sized. We shouldn't overdo it with the super battleships because, honestly, they're very expensive and take forever to build. So let's limit ourselves to something more reasonable. Like, maybe, 75,000 tons battleship. Can't actually make this thing that small. Quote-unquote small. 75. 84? 84,000 still okay, I think. If we design this ship, let's just quickly check this out. 32 knots. What can we do? We still have oil 1, we're not at oil 2 yet. Balanced engines. Man. All of this looks very, very good. Except for one thing. It's 44 horsepower per ton. Versus 135. So, this thing is very good for most things, except for the fact that you need to make the engine very big to make your ship any kind of fast. Probably. Oh, wait, the rudder it was. No, it wasn't. Electrohydraulic 2, I think. Then crop 5! Oh, that's a big one. Oh, that's a big one. That is a big point. Now, here's the question. Citadel 4 or 5? We might actually be able to get a turtleback ship running. Maybe. 8.4 inches of main deck, that's a bit excessive. 2. Let's see what we can bonk onto this ship here. The important part about the Crop 5 unlock is the fact that Crop 5 armor is both stronger and lighter than Crop 4. Meaning that we are saving 5% more weight while still gaining 10% extra strength of the armor. Now, this is actually a fairly sizable ship despite the fact that it looks very small right now. What kind of main guns do we put on this? Do we have the modern 15-inch turrets? Yes, we do. These are the turrets that I would like to put on the Wolf class. Which would actually be smaller than this, I just realized. How about 16 doubles? Instead of Mark II 16s. No, I know what I'll do. I know what I'll do. Wait. We have Mark III 14s? Oh, the Mark III 15s already look like this. Okay, we can probably shuffle forwards. I would like to have at least 4 turrets. Decent firing arc. Decent firing arc. So this is actually a ship bigger than the Wolf. It's also already overweight though. Fact of the matter is that Citadel 4 is extremely heavy. Also with the maximum range. And I haven't even put an engine in. I haven't put a funnel in this. So, 84%, 75%, 10%. So we can probably reduce this to 31 knots, maybe 30.5. That's good enough. Reduce the range a little bit. I would like to have Citadel 4 because, honestly, it's very funny to run this. But it's so expensive. We can probably save some on this. 6-inch top is good enough. It's still leaving us with almost nothing in terms of weight. Let's just quickly go through and go with the usual stuff here. Powder 2 and TNT 4. I would like to have enhanced reloading, but that's going to be too heavy. I hope it stands. Probably also reduce some of the armor here, like we probably could do with 5 inches of deck and then 4.5 for both fore and aft. Because armor is expensive and heavy. Yeah, that's also 1,000 tons saved right there, by just making this 1 inch instead of 2 inches. 17 inches on the conning tower. Now the inner belts, I would like to be a little bit thicker. Inner deck should be like 3 and 2. Leaving us with 700-ish tons for secondaries. This is a fairly standard battleship, all things considered. Which is making me think that I want to build something else. We've built a lot of standard stuff recently. Interesting. How about something funky? 1,785 against 2,121. What about something very funky? It's actually going to be lighter because we're saving a turret, but we still have the same amount of guns of a slightly smaller caliber. I would like to put this tower at the bottom, but just a little bit tight. Probably shuffle this slightly forward. Never mind, we can't. Alright. Maybe a slightly smaller secondary tower. Burn secondary tower 3. There we go. That's good. Quad barrel 14-inch guns are pretty good still. At 77 inches of penetration at close range is kind of ridiculous. No, I know what I'm doing. For that I need to quickly do one setting change. Because I want to know. There's another battleship caliber that Germany used a lot. Is, in fact... my guns. 305mm, but we don't have the quad turrets for it. Damn it! That's a shame. That's a shame. That's a shame. That's a really big shame. Or we could just go with the 11 inches. Or build something actually reasonable. Honestly, let's go and build something actually reasonable. We're gonna save this, whether or not we'll build it, I don't know. I don't think so, I'll be honest. Which also means that this will not, in fact, count into our usual stuff. Because we're not actually building the ships, though it shouldn't count towards the number of ships we've designed. Bit of a forward offset, but that's fine, it's not too much. What's the range on these things? 12 kilometers and 10 kilometers, that's actually pretty good already. Let's give 5% extra length to the 10 centimeter guns. 11 kilometers, that's pretty good. Let's go back to the inches because I can't tell how much stuff is in terms of penetration values. That is a lot of penetration values. That is so much penetration on these guns. In fact, I'm thinking of downgrading the penetration for the main guns because it's a little bit ridiculous. So let's go for cats, I think. That's still ridiculous. Standard? Standard to cat is such a big difference. It's what the fuck? 19.4 and super long ranges. Let's go with standard, which will lower the penetration of the secondaries, of course. But we're going to leave the high explosive shells untouched and exactly the way they are. So that should be pretty good. So, did I forget anything on this? 7 inches of top armor, could be like 6 inches of barbets. That's not possible, it's already on max. Yeah, that's fine. It's a fine ship, we might build some of them, I don't know. Let's put something actually more reasonable, at like the 50 to 60,000 ton range. Because that is a lot more normal than just building massive things. Now, building massive things is fun, and I appreciate doing it, but building massive things is also a bit stupid at times. Hull form of this is so much better. Damn. Resistance is lower, though. Let's go with this one. 32 knots of speed again. I'm gonna design a few more battleships here. Just so that we can use some more stuff. Because we're gonna need more tonnage, which means we need more battleship. Crab 5 is gonna save so much weight. Set it on 4 because I want to do that. It's a very German thing to do. 1799 is going to be a standard setup for the moment. With 6 inches of main deck, 4.5 for fore and aft. Yeah, I think that's good. Inner belt number 1, 8. Inner belt number 2, 6. Inner deck number 1, 3, and then 2. Then we have the main tower, which is a modern main tower. The size proportions of this ship look a lot better. Do we go with this one? I think we do. That is so much better in most things. The base accuracy doesn't really increase that much, but that would also be kind of busted if it did. The aiming speed, though, also the long-range accuracy, is pretty fucking good on these. So, let's go for stereoscopic rangefinder, sonar, and RDF. Now we check the main guns. I think for this one we do actually go with the triple 15s. Do we go with 3 triples? Or do we go with 4 triples? Can probably be capped, super heavy, tube powder, and TNT-4. Already done that, but that also needs to be input. We could totally go with 4 triples, and essentially rival the firepower of the Void on a ship that is much smaller. That's what I would like to say, but I actually oversized this thing massively. I wanted to go with something smaller. 64,000 tons. Let's go with that. Everything is slightly fused together now, but that's fine. We can fix that. There we go. That's more reasonable. Triple 15s and 3 per... Yeah, that's honestly pretty decent, I think. We probably save some weight in terms of range, but because we don't have any funnels yet, so 96%. Downgrade our speed to like 30.5. Oh wait, no, 31. 31 point, no, 31 point, 0.5. 5. It's pretty good. Now we are still too heavy. But we can probably change that by changing the range. Because 13,000 kilometers is more than enough still. And at the same time, we can change the turret armor, which is again defaulted to 20 inches and a 12-inch barbette. 7-inch top is fine. Range is ridiculous. Penetration is ridiculous. We are already at capped. Okay, man, that is nuts. Now if we engage at like... okay, maybe we should stay with capped. Capped is fine, capped is good. Let's stay with capped. Okay. So now we want secondaries, which should not be too difficult to do on this hull. We can go with 6-inch triples. Four turrets, which is pretty good. Then we can go with some 10cm guns, which should be 4 inches. Can't fit them in the superstructure. More than this. We're already overweight again, which we can probably change by doing this. No, not quite. 7, 4, 4. I would actually like even more secondaries, I'll be honest. So let's go for that first before we continue. Put some 3 inches in the superstructure here. We have a fairly big half-weight offset. That's surprising. Huh. Let's deal with that real quick. Those 152s did so much weight. Odd. It's gotta be so much open aft deck. It's gotta be weird. We have a forward offset that is honestly a little bit concerning. So let's shuffle it all a little bit back to where it was before. Not quite completely all the way, but you know. Ship is overweight by 100 tons. Now, it's going to be a little bit more than 100 tons because we're still going to need to increase the barrel length of stuff, like 5% to the 3 inches, which is giving them 11 kilometers of our range, which we're going to do to the same to the 4 inches. 11 kilometers of range, that's good. So they're all around about the same range. Actually, you need a little bit more. 11.5, 11.1. That's more like it. And then you are at 11.1 and 11.3. Mostly about the same. We need to save 100 tons. That should not be too difficult to do, all things considered. Oh, we don't have enhanced reloading, so these rate of fires on the secondaries are going to be not nearly as good as some of our previous battleships. But this thing's going to be so much more modern, it's going to be ridiculous. Could we fit enhanced reloading? If we save another 700 tons, we could. 5.5. That's 300 tons saved. We could probably also go down even further in range. Here we go for semi-auto. Of some, like, fast turret? No. No, no, no. Xerath is a slight heavy on this point. That would be 4.6 rounds a minute for that, 9.4 rounds a minute for those, and 9 point? Damn, that's a lot of rounds per minute. Five rounds per minute, 8.85. Honestly, that's not that big an upgrade. So let's stick with this. I have a slight aft weight offset. Yeah, I think this is another fairly good battleship. What do we call this? We're going to be building a few of these, by the way. This is going to be one of those that's 4, maybe? We have a bunch of battleships that we've recently built where we've built an undersized class. So... what do we call this? Why not, right? Let's immediately jump in and change something about the big boy that we've created. Because there's one thing that we can do immediately to save some weight and update the design. And that is to put it into crop 5. Because at the moment we are at 129,000 tons. Then when I click on refit, it's probably going to be heavier. No, actually, not really. Lucky. Actually, we should probably do this once that ship is done. Yes. And what I'm also going to do is, the moment that we have the Black Sea secured, I think I will take a moment to remodel a bunch of ships. Because we are in warfare, so our income is ridiculous. The Russians really don't pose a threat, and we've just secured a whole bunch of big port we can use for it. So why not, right? The America plans can wait for a moment. We still have a few years to play with here. So, considering how this will take only 6 turns, let's quickly redesign, or remodel our ship designs here. Which means mostly that we will need to redesign or refit a bunch of our ships that already exist, that are done, and effectively in service. Because just putting them into crop 5 is going to save us so much weight, we can actually put some more technology on them, and that's going to be great. Because last time when we were playing, we had the problem that the moment we clicked on remodel, or refit, everything would be so heavy that we couldn't actually do anything. What do you mean? Ah. That's already bad. That's not great, I don't like that. I like torpedoes on my cruiser here. Damn it. You have underwater torpedoes? What the fuck? That's a fairly modern design to have those. We might have to replace the front secondary gun with the torpedo and place it in here instead. So first of all, we're going to change to crop 5, which is going to save us 500 tons. That's a big upgrade. Which we're going to immediately put into the torpedo belts. Triple bottom hull, yep. Bit 5, all good. Sonar 3, RDF is still the most updated thing. Better depth charges as well. All in all, just a general upgrade. We can't put the 5-inch here either. I think I'll just ditch the torpedoes. Put another 3-inch gun there, and that's gonna be good. 4 months for that change is quite long, but it's fair. We did actually change quite a bit. Good turbines 2, it's the best we have. Alright. That's an upgrade for the Spee. Now we're gonna go through a list of ships and slowly but surely make that happen with all of them. Or most of them. For the simple reason that we just couldn't last time. They were all way too heavy. Which is why this one is currently still using very old guns. The Herzog von Tresch. Both the secondaries and the main guns are not up to the newest hull, or up to the newest turrets. Ship is overweight by 500 tons, and we don't even have the symmetric turrets over there. So let's just, first things first, crop 5. How much do we save? 2,000 tons! Damn. Oh, no, no. Auxiliary 4 is already in. Bit 5 is in. Anti-Torp 5, how much will it be? Too much. But at least we can upgrade the rest of the ship. IDF is in. Sonar 1 is outdated as fuck. Stereoscopic rangefinder 5. How about some new shells? TNT 4 should save some weight, and 2 powder 2 I think saves some weight as well. Do we need the Cat Ballistic 2? I don't think we do. Let's go with Cat. Cat is good. Let me just copy this turret over to the other side. Never mind, because apparently that turret is not quite in the right spot either. Probably this one isn't either. Not quite right yet. I think the spot for that turret is correct. This turret just needs to move 1 tick further backwards, which means I have to move this one turret. Not this. This turret. 1 tick further backwards.
We are going to have to act if we want to live in a different world.
Actually, this one probably has to move 1 tick backwards as well. There we go. Nah, come on. Very good. That's not symmetrical, so we don't have the problem of our secondaries being wonky. It's going to give us good firepower over the sides. Very nice. So enhanced reloading, we got all of the important upgrades in. We still have about 1,000 tons to play with, which is quite funky because we were lacking weight earlier. We can probably go for 9 and 9. 5 for the main deck. 5 for the main deck. Hang on. Yeah, okay, it's gonna be a long remodel. 9 months. Oh, 7 months, actually. That's, gonna be a while. But it'll be worth it, just for the armor upgrade. Because even though that we're not changed any armor, it's gonna be... Actually, we changed a little bit of armor. It's still gonna be 10% more effective. The first in the deck I would really like to be, like, 3 inches instead. 2.7, pretty good. I like that. Okay, the Herzog von Tresch is updated. Good talk. Next up, the Cogger. I think this one too had the problem of we couldn't remodel it because it was too heavy. Because a lot of our ship designs got really close to the maximum edge. Yep, there we go. It's overweight. So, the first thing we shall do is change the fact that we're overweight by going to Crop 5. Saving 1,000 tons instantly. Balance spoilers. I think that's slightly heavier. It's 100 tons, but at the same time it's giving us more engine efficiency and less smoke. Shaft 3, let's go to Shaft 4. We can't go for the anti-torp 5 because it's just going to be way too heavy. It is what it is. We can upgrade the shells to 2 powder 2 and bursting charge TNT 4. We're going to actually leave it at ballistic cap 2 because these are 11-inch guns and they're actually 10-inch guns, so they need it. RDF, Sonar 3, update that. Stereoscopic rangefinder 5, upgrade that. Probably upgrade the armor a little bit here. And go for 8/8s. Good upgrade. Simple, but effective. Nothing shape-shifting. I think the 6-inch guns actually changed the turret. But that's about it. Now the part book. A very, very old ship in service. Which, its armor values are completely ridiculous. They're off the rocker. So, this thing getting all the way up to... why do I have a pod weight offset? The 11.1-inch guns have now changed shape, so I'm gonna have to move them a little bit. Ship is all weight, but that's not going to be there for very long. Part book is going to be so much more modern looking now. Why is it a port offset? For this left side, so we have something on the left side that we don't have on the right side. No, that gun's there. Those guns are there. That gun's there. Those guns are there. The fuck? It's only a very small one, so it could also be something like a turret's not in the exact same spot as on the other side. But, well, it should be fine. This thing is getting a massive overhaul with this upgrade. Which I really appreciate, because I like this ship quite a lot. And it's gonna be a big upgrade. So, let's go to Crop 5 and see how the tons just shave away. We can go to Balance Spoilers, which will be a little bit heavier again, but it's going to make us even more accurate. Auxiliary engine is already up there. Anti-torp we can't fit, it's going to be too heavy. We already changed the shells. The penetration of the 11-inch guns is getting long in the tooth here, but we can go to armor-piercing ballistic cap 2, giving them a little bit of extra life. Cap ballistics for the high explosive is still good. Enhanced reloading, now for the big upgrades. Sonar 3, stereoscopic rangefinder 5. The armor quality is 140% at this point. It's completely ridiculous. With a 17.5-inch main belt and 9-inch 4.5 belt, this thing is nuts. Go to a 5-inch deck. It's going to be a 3-month refit because it's a fairly small ship. 11-inch barbettes. Let's go for 4-inch top armor on the turrets. Actually, let's go for 5 if we can. It's gonna be good that way. Can we, maybe? Can we, maybe? No. We can go to 23 knots. 22.5, I think it's going to be a little bit more reasonable, leaving us a few hundred tons to play with if we need something else. It is also on maximum bulkheads and good range. This thing is going to be a menace, very much still on the sea. Keep in mind, this has been with us since about the 1900s. Fairly small, it's double the weight of a pocket battleship. Yes, but consider this. Hang on. Give it a moment. Give it a moment. There we go. We're not building many of these, as you might consider. But they're there in about 3 years. This thing is very old, to be fair. Like, if you go up here, it's very old. 1914, it was already there. It should be like one of the very first designs. Yeah, it's like a 1900s design. Well, we're currently in 1929. But hello, Demtosia, I mean, that's a name and a half. How are you doing today? We're just currently going through a fleet because we unlocked a good upgrade, which actually allows us to remodel, because everything got heavy, and now we got Crop 5, which is nice. Very nice. Also, I'm mainly using the old battleships because of a rule I set for myself, which is that I cannot have more than an average of 3 ships per battleship on battlecruiser class. Meaning that I kind of need to make use of everything for as long as I can. And instead of replacing everything as soon as possible, this makes it a little bit more interesting. Königsberg, it's not the greatest class of ship, honestly. This is probably the one that's getting the longest in the tooth. It's just not holding up that well. Its design is archaic, its guns aren't great. Meh. Honestly, I probably need to replace this at some point. Like, entirely. Shaft 4. Also, the weight limitations are getting really into the ship because it's a battlecruiser. But let's upgrade it for the moment. It's going to do its job. It's going to do well, and it's going to survive. But the penetration is still going to be fine. It's very French if you didn't have anything centerline. That's a fair point. Yeah. This thing is very old. This is like the first like, you can probably tell if you've been playing a Germany campaign at all. This is the first proper battlecruiser hull that you get unlocked in the campaign. It's old. And that's exactly how it performs. It's not got much space, it's got very bad weight limitations. Which is also why the armor is not nearly as good as on some of our other ships. But because it's a battlecruiser, it got away with it so far. So... yeah, we really can't do much else with this thing. We're gonna hit the weight limit very, very quickly and easily. So let's just update the systems for the moment and use... the good thing is we only have 2 of these. So... they're not too critical to us. On the other hand, this one, using a slightly more modern hull, is actually doing fairly well, because it actually has space for secondaries the way that we designed it. Only problem is, or was, it's too heavy. Which now with Crop 5, with the magic of clicking 2 buttons, 1, 2, ta-da, we can use it again. First of all, 2-powder 2 and TNT 4, very important. Giving us fairly good penetration of these 12.1 inch guns. The secondaries should also be fairly decent. 14 kilometer range. Damn, that's pretty good. Let's change this to balanced. Giving us even more engine power, but I can't really do anything with that because this is essentially one of the smaller funnels we could use. We can actually replace these with smaller ones if we wanted to. Central crane funnel. Actually, no, I can't. It's the smallest one. It's the tiniest funnel here. And the other ones aren't big enough in relation to replace two of them. Shame. Here also sonar 3 and stereoscopic rangefinder 5. As you can see, the armor on this thing is significantly better than on the other battlecruiser. And we can actually increase this one to 16. Not much else we should do here. Probably put the better shaft on there. It's gotta be fine. It's fairly quick still. Like, slowly but surely, these pale in comparison with our battleship that we have in service nowadays, but at the same time, we don't have that many of those yet. We only recently got the access to some of the better battleship hulls. Now you have to do what the Italians did and put the funnel in front of the 0 levels. No. Why would I do that? Some ship designs have been very weird in the past. Again, old battleship, fairly compact, fairly strong, and very heavily armored. Very standard though. Nothing special to say about it. You know, it seemed to work for the Italians. And when I say heavily armored, by the way, it's very, very heavily armored. There we go. Okay. Then we go for balance spoilers again. 304, shaft 4. Upgrade the shells. This kind of stuff is the kind of thing that takes a moment every time you do it, but unfortunately it has to be done. Because we are using a lot of different ship designs. And honestly, I like it that way. But it does mean that it takes every time that you need to remodel something. 12-inch guns are still pretty good. I would like to have more modern turrets, but it is what it is. The Mark IVs of the 5 inches are also still doing well. Anything else? Anything else? Spacious crew quarters, because why not? At this point, it's... if you've been assigned to this ship, you're already on a museum ship, so might as well make it more spacious. Next up, the Posen. A little bit more modern. That's very giving. The thing is, when we're already at 19 inches of main belt and 11 inches of fore and aft belt, you've reached the level of armor that is completely ridiculous. That is just completely stupid. Stupid levels of armor for a battleship. And the way that just saves like 1,500 tons is ridiculous. Balance spoilers. We don't need balance spoilers. At the same time, I think this is actually better for smoke interference. Hang on a minute. Where was the stat? Smoke interference. Where are you again? Smoke interference. I can't find you anymore. Powers? Minus 52.7. Doesn't make a difference. It does, but not any... it doesn't make it worth it, no. Prop 5, Prop 5, that's already upgraded. Definitely can't put it onto Prop 5. Actually, no, we can, just barely. Let's just leave it for the moment, because we need to upgrade everything else first. This should save some weight. This should save some weight. No, actually gain some weight. Sonar 3 and stereoscopic 5. No, it could be a little bit I could make it fit by changing some of the secondaries around, but as you can see, the secondaries are already in a bit of a weird place to begin with. We need to make do with what we could when we had this ship hull, because, yeah. I wanted to have everything to be a little bit distinct from each other, but at the same time, there's only so much you can do when you have one battleship hull available. Alright. This is going to continue for a moment, and I'm very sorry for that. I hope you enjoy watching me remodel ships, because it's going to be essentially the same thing for a while to come. To be exact, I think until, like, here, maybe the keel as well. It's fairly new still, but it hasn't been remodeled, I think. Yeah. So the Bremen, another ancient battleship. Tiny. At the time that we built it, it had the biggest guns available to our arsenal, which by now, it definitely doesn't. We've actually lost a few of these. Oh! Yeah, that's a little bit annoying. Very good. Let's change it without much of a change. Crop 5 should save the weight situation. Balance spoiler should save that situation. Shaft 4. Very good. Now the shell upgrades. For the information of the people that are new to this, what is currently going on in the campaign, we are currently fighting Russia. In Russia. Well, rather, we have basically won the engagement in the Black Sea, and the moment that finishes, I want to mass remodel a bunch of stuff while we're still at war with them, because it just gives us the chance to just use the income that we have in warfare while not at war with anyone actually dangerous. Because our next targets will probably need these remodels. I really want to fight America, and I want to do it on the home turf. Alright. Which is going to be very annoying because, for some reason, every single American territory has massive ports in every single sector. Taking one of them a fucking nightmare. Here's the Wolf, and honestly, it really deserves its new turrets because, man, these 15 inches are ugly. It just needs those new German types instead of the ancient, ugly-ass things here. Doesn't that immediately look so much better? Doesn't it? It looks so much more German now. This is also currently the biggest battleship in our service. And despite the fact that it still has 1,500 tons left over, it's not at Crop 5 yet. So we can actually do some things with it. Balanced? Balanced is not enough. Okay, we need force on this one. Because of the speed that we put it at. Citadel 3, that's why it's so light. I was wondering. Okay, that's a 4-month remodel for the moment. Let's upgrade the shells because they too are ancient. Despite the fact that this is a very big and modern battleship, it has been in service for a moment. Because we've gotten this technology fairly early on. This is with about 800 tons with some very heavy punch. Probably go down to capped. Yeah, that's good enough. I don't know why, but I really like giving German battleships 15-inch guns. It just feels right. The armor of this thing is also very, very nice. Armor quality is plus 152%. We're now at a point where this is very good. 9-inch inner and 5-inch. Second inner deck should be like 2 inches, probably. Maybe 3. 2.9. Good. Let's make it 6. 17 sides. Okay. The Void is getting a fairly sizable update here. And that is very good. 31 knots? No. 30.7. 0.8? 0.9, but 31 was too fast. Yep, there we go. Okay. Very good. The Vive has gotten updated to its, honestly, looks-wise final form. It's not going to change much in looks anymore. And this is going to be the type of battleship that we will probably be using until the end of the campaign, because it'll just punch way above its own weight. Next up, the Village Fine. A big heavy cruiser. I don't know if it needs an update yet, but we shall... No, actually it does. Look at those ugly-ass 3 inches, unless it's 2 inches. But look at them. That's not the turrets we want. There we go, that's better. Now they have no armor in comparison with the other ones, but at the same time... Yeah, it's fine. Prop 5. Citadel 4 is already in here, that's good. Induced spoilers. Balanced? Balanced. Shaft 4. Update the shells. Some extra punch on these 9-inch guns. With those things, it will definitely punch above its own weight still. It is a very, very chunky heavy cruiser. Which is why it doesn't have too many guns, but it is big. It is very big. 1.5 maybe? 2 maybe? 2.5 is too much, right? No. We can go to 2.5 superstructure, making it mostly invulnerable to AI HE. The AI rarely goes above, like, the 2.5, the high explosive penetration. So that's gonna be a lot of plinks in the superstructure. Okay, the armor here is good. That's good. Also mostly out of weight for this. Anti-flood 3. Oh wait, that's neat. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's correct. For the moment, I was thinking about the anti-top, but that's a different thing. I promise, we're almost done with the updating. As I said, it always takes quite a long time to do this, but the combat upgrade that you get from doing it is just too valuable. A light cruiser recently got an update, but we might, depending on the tonnage that we get, replace those 2 barrels with triples instead. Once it loads, there we go. It is currently... yeah, it's almost overweight. If we go to crop 5... 300 extra tons. Now it's using Mark 4 turrets, so that's already a big upgrade. So let's just upgrade the guns further. 17 kilometer armor piercing range. Let's see, how much heavier is a triple turret? Or 7-incher? 100 tons. We'll probably replace 2 of them now. Essentially adding another barrel to the firepower. Maybe even replace 3. Replace this one too. And that's as much as we can probably upgrade the guns. Citadel 4. Probably should have actually done this first because it's going to increase the weight by a chunk. Mine layers, sure, upgrade everything and then see how much weight we need to shave off again. The armor is actually fairly chunky for a light cruiser. 9 inches for the turret is probably good enough. What's the range need? 20,000 kilometers. You have so much higher range than everything else. I don't think we need that. Nothing can keep up with you anyway, so... Balanced? Not balanced. Unless we go down to 35 knots? 35.3 knots? That's 0.2 knots for more engine efficiency. And a few hundred tons saved again, so we might actually be able to replace all of the turrets with the triple barrels. Would be very nice. Now that's an upgrade. We essentially just added 1.5 extra turrets. We're just replacing the doubles with triples. Good, good. That's a massive upgrade to the firepower of the ship. The Frischling. 8-inch guns, unfortunately, still don't have the better turrets. That would be great. This is our standard heavy cruiser, in the vein of, you know... This is not what I expect the 8-inch guns to look like, I'll be honest. Excuse me, centerline guns, 8 inches? Hang on. No, that's just... What? Huh? I expected German 2 or 3mm turrets and not these. But, oh well, I'll work with it. They look pretty cool. They're just different from what I expected to see. Saving some weight here, adding some weight here, adding more weight here, and adding more weight over here. Depth charges, sure, can do. The armor is still fine. Actually, it's better than before, so that's good. Shaft 4. Can add that too, very nice. The range is quite high, so we can lower that down to add more armor if we want to. Go to like 1199. So 1199 is a very nice armor scheme for a heavy cruiser. The enemy would struggle to deal with that. It's still only a 2-month refit time. These guns have 12km range, that's all 10cm guns. Plus the 8.1-inch guns over here. With some massive punch to them. 20km range for them as well. Nice. Okay. Explosive penetration is okay. It's okay. Okay. Anything else that I forgot? I don't think so. Well, that would be a bit much to ask for. Or would it? We can actually make that work. That's funny. Okay, sure. Why not? Spacious crew quarters on our heavy cruiser. Because we make the best heavy cruisers in this world. And I think we're reaching the last ships. The oil book will need an upgrade as well, but that's it's only the keel and the oil book now. The keel should be fairly easy to upgrade because it's just a whole fuckload of 12-inch guns, I think? So all of these turrets will be replaced and I need to shuffle some stuff around to make it fit. But oh boy, will it look good. Oh no, wait, actually it's still going to be the same turrets. We don't have the Mark 4s for these yet, it seems. What we can do, though, is I needed to lie a little bit. That was not a centerline turret. So that gripe has been fixed, which is very, very nice. Balanced boilers is nice. Shaft 4. Sitter 4, increased shells, upgrade the shells. This thing is essentially meant to be a cruiser on Battleship Hunter. With long range, good punch, and it'll be faster than anything that it faces. And I can probably upgrade the armor to a decent degree as well. Once I fit these things in. 17 belts? No. 16 belts. 60 belt apparently increases the weight by 500 tons. I'm pretty sure that the game just doesn't intend you to go that high. Let's try 1599. That works. That's pretty good. Who in superstructure, maybe? Nope, too heavy. That works, mostly. We have a bit of a forward offset here, so... 8.7% forward offset. I mean, there's a lot of turrets in the front, so that's basically unavoidable. Upgraded in every way we could, though. It's nice. Also, despite the fact that the range is at its absolute minimum, it's still at 19,000 kilometers, because there's barely anything on this damn ship. It's literally just there to lug those 12-inch guns around. Now the Oldenburg, the final ship to upgrade, which is 15-inch guns. So this thing's actually going to look fairly interesting, I think, if we can actually make it fit with that bridge. The secondary tower might be a little bit... Oh no, it works! Nice! Now this is looking interesting. And it is actually still light enough for us to work with. Interesting. Right, because of this. That's the reason why it's so easy to work with. It was still at Citadel 3. Balanced spoilers, adding a little bit of weight. Man, this thing is ancient. Shaft 2? Holy fuck. Saving some weight with the shells again, then adding some weight with the shells again. Sonar 3. Stereoscopic rangefinder 5. Reducing the range a little bit to save some weight. Using the range a little bit more. It's 15,000 kilometers is good. It's not great, but it's good. And this thing is not fast enough to outrun the enemies by any means. But at the same time, it's going to be chunky enough to just fight it out. 2-inch superstructure? Too heavy, but we can probably go 1.5. Nice. Yeah, right, we don't need the cap list. Let's just go with caps. Alrighty. That should be all of the remodeling done. And I really hope that we're not going to get like a massively big upgrade very soon, because otherwise we're going to have to do it all again. Which would just be just a tiny little bit annoying. Anyway, time to back out of this. All right. Okay. It's time to capture the last bit of the Black Sea. Please don't crash. There we go, thank God. How's the Conquest going over here? The 79% chance, with everything having arrived already, I think. No, we still have a destroyer here. Sure, why not? Let's send you over. Good enough chance if it fails, then so be it. This invasion is not going to work that way. We're going to have to massively step up a game there if we wanted that to succeed. The invasion over here is going well. 8 turns, and that's going to be ours. And, oh well, 6 turns, and this is going to be ours in 4 turns. Next turn. We could probably also start remodeling stuff already. Now, the biggest problem right now is that we're building currently 15 light cruisers, which is taking up a lot of our production facilities. Not to speak of the fact that we're currently building two absolute behemoths of 260,000 tons of battleship. Combined, those two, of course. The biggest thing we could possibly build at the time that we did. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, it's you again! This time you shall not escape. Now, in theory, this battleship is more modern than some of ours, but at the same time, it's fighting a fleet of very much modernized battleships. While it's heavier than some of them, the ones that are heavier than, it probably doesn't stand a chance in a straight fight, because they're heavy armored. And the ones that it isn't heavier than, it's gonna struggle to deal anything against because they're just more armed. I'm probably not gonna need these. Now, as I said the last time, we're not gonna make the same mistake as last time. You are too slow. Hang on, actually, hang on. Detach. You are too slow. You are also too slow. You are also too slow. So it's just going to be the Wolf and the Mars. So they're both over 20-something knots. While these will just turn away, go away. Honestly, I'm just going to make you stop here. So honestly, otherwise you'd just be in the way. No, hang on. I need to do it the other way around. You will be attached to the battleship. No shit, that's the wrong battleship. Dang it. Detach. It should be you, I think. There we go. 5 times speed, steam ahead. That's gonna be a little bit of a crash. Donk. Out of the way. The enemy has spotted us already, so they're actually sailing towards us. That's impressive. And brave. Maybe bold or stupid, but certainly brave. Now with 2 ships, we should actually fare a lot better than we did last time, and all of these are 15-inch guns, so that's going to be a lot of firepower. One of them obviously has vastly more modern 15-inch guns, but it's fine. We did fight this thing before once with the same fleet, but we made a mistake. And essentially just tried to beat it with only the Wolf, which is... we got a little bit ahead of ourselves. The problem wasn't that we couldn't beat it, the problem was that it was just constantly sailing in a circle, sailing away from us, so we couldn't actually do much about it. Unfortunately, it's still out of range. Because these are still 15.1-inch Mark 1s, instead of the Mark 3s that we've just put on the remodel. So this is going to take a moment to run this ship down. But I'm still preferring this over a auto-resolve, because an auto-resolve would probably give them a chance of sinking something of us, while this should not. Now the problem being, of course, that they aren't fast enough to run away, by any means. But they are also not slow enough to not make this a pain in the ass. We're only getting closer very slowly. And we need to get to 18 kilometers before we can fire at them. Now the enemy is still sailing around this ancient battleship. That is honestly a terrible turret setup, but its guns are actually fairly punchy. They have 14.5-inch guns that actually do pose a threat the moment that we get a little bit too close. 21.4 kilometers. We're getting closer. We will get there soon. Any minute now. Any minute now. It's actually still 1.5 kilometers, but, you know. One can hope. One can hope. I can't wait to get the gun upgrades for these ships. Because at that point, we'd already be firing at this guy. And we'd be firing fairly accurately at him as well. Instead of whatever we will unleash in a bit. Because max range firing with the Mark 1 guns is just not all that reliable. 19.2, 19.1, 19.0, and at 19.8 we are technically in range, but I think the battleship will not fire yet because of leading, I think. 18.7 maybe? Oh, the gun's just fired. The shots are in the air. And we missed. We're not ending the battle now after we followed him this far, as he was trying to make this a no-show. Only one of the turrets actually reached this just now. Why is only one of the turrets firing? Or did that just look that way? .5 kilometers range now. We have a 1% chance to hit them. But a chance is a chance. The enemy now fires back at us. At the maximum range of 17.5 kilometers. Well, they should have a fairly bad chance to hit as well. And Mark II 14-inch guns. So they're not terrible. And again, they do have quite the punch. Hi, Ricky. I'm doing fairly well. I'm just watching this enemy battleship running away. In vain, because our battleships are faster. We're now in solid range. More shells flying in. How are you doing, though? Hope you're having a good day. .9 kilometer distance. We are now solidly in range by the point that we have 3 kilometers of buffer zone before we are out of range again. At the same time, we're not particularly accurate at this distance, so, yeah. What is your deck armor? Deck armor is 7.3 main. That's pretty damn chunky. What is our deck penetration at this distance? not very great with high explosive. With armor piercing, pretty good, but not good enough to punch through the deck. Also, we're missing anyway still, so swinging between it was an okay day and you're suffering. Did anything happen, or just rough day? Was this only the Volt firing? Nope, the Mars is also firing. So we have a little bit of a sequential firing here. We're actually soon going to hit the range where our secondaries can fire at him, which is funny. You can see the green circle encroach on him, which is our secondary range. And the moment that those start blasting, it's honestly pretty much over. The enemy has hit us. I will have to give them that. They have hit us with a 1.2% chance to hit. While our ships are still missing with a 3%. So 3% is still a very low chance to hit. Close misses by 15-inch shells. I wonder what kind of accuracy we would have at this point with the Mark IIs that we have, or Mark IIIs, I think even. That's gonna miss to the side again. Secondaries are closing in. And one side is staying angle, so that one's not going to be able to fire. But the other side is not. The other side will just happily blast away at them. Work was fine, it's just suffering coming from still ongoing gastric distress. I see. Did you check if you have, like... what was it called? Damn it. So I was talking to some people recently that have something like that as well. But it's like a chronic disease that they have. The Wolf seems to be on fire. Actually, no, the Mars is on fire. Is firing at the Mars or the... No, you're firing at the Wolf. Oh wait, you. I meant the enemy. What are you firing at? Yeah. Hold up. What did this guy lose 300 crew? Oh wait, that was at the start of the battle. Uh. 15-inch shell hit. I'll have to check because you're losing weight. Well, it's good. I'm losing weight. It's bad for all you're losing it. Yeah. That's not good. That's a hit. Partial pen. And another big fire. Three inches are about to start blasting as well. So now we're really in machine gun range. And there's going to be a constant rain of shells on the enemy. That will not stop until either they or us are dead. This time though, I'm not making this a fair fight. Ricochet, that's unfortunate. We have a 21% chance to hit at this point, but the enemy probably has something similar. 60% chance to hit. How come? What kind of rangefinder do you use? Rangefinder is... Where is it? Coincidence 3. So the closer we get, the more accurate they will get. Which is still applying to us, obviously, because that's just generally how it goes. But it's got to be applying to them a little bit more than to us. Now they're down to 8%? No, 58%. Okay, there we go. But the constantly being on the fire is going to actually impact the accuracy normally. No, this is at 5 times speed. Big hit. Good hit, more importantly. They're running out of high explosive shells, which is really good, because the armor-piercing shells will not damage us at this distance, and this altitude. At least not particularly much. While our armor-piercing shells are definitely punching through their deck right now. Bonk. Okay, the important point at this point, you detach and turn to the left. Another flooding, which is good. Now, the flooding on the aft is usually not that important, but the enemy is starting to turn left, which is exactly what I'm trying to counteract by sending the mast to the left. Because the more that they try to turn away from the valve, the more broadside they'll be showing to the mast. Which is kind of a done deal at this point. Silver lining is if it continues to reach your target weight in a month. Well, is that really a silver lining though? Because that is quite... Ooh, that was a good chunk. That is straight in the middle, that thing is done. That was a full penetration to the middle of the ship. It's sinking. Good shot. And that's without the remodeling that we've prepared a moment ago. Very good. Could be the lactose intolerance has gotten worse and need to switch medication because it contains lactose. That would be something, I guess. It's possible, I guess. But yeah, I don't actually know what to call you, Demtoes Yummy, because do you want me to call you Yummy? I don't know. It's a fairly long name. But yeah, in this game you rarely play at normal speed because it just takes too long. One battle would last the entire stream. I'm not selling you a Valve class battleship. You can forget about that. You call them toes. That works too. We're about to get Lithuania soon. This is still not succeeding. Surprise. Imagine running 67,000 soldiers into an army of 500,000. Maniac. This is succeeding though, so that's good. The army at this point is just putting up like a token effort. It's like, oh yeah, we're trying. Totally. Totally. Let's just leave the Navy to do everything. Then again, every once in a while, the army does push up a 2 million strong army and just overruns a province. So that's good. The thing is just, it seems that the person or whoever is in charge of the army doesn't really seem to have an idea of where you need the big army and where you don't. Because, yeah, in the Southeast Asian, or in the Asian theater, they are pulling up a 67,000 army strong, or men strong army, and here they're pushing 2 million soldiers into Lithuania. Alliance broke between German Empire and Empire of Japan. Interesting. What are you up to? 12-inch Mark IVs. because we definitely need those 2.5 million men against those 200,000 defenders. Yep. But let me just quickly do something, because there are a few ships that we did remodel that are using 12-inch guns, which now really would benefit from just clicking the refit button once and seeing the guns change. Like this thing. Because who doesn't like 7 double turrets of 12-inch guns? 14 guns. Okay, that's annoying. We can probably shuffle a little bit. We can't shuffle enough, though. This one can't really work here. Man, that's a shame. I mean, 6 double turrets is also still pretty good. We can maybe use this to make this a triple. 12-inch triple. And make the one up front also triple. Shuffle everything a little bit backwards. Come on. I need just one tick. Oh, come on. Almost. I mean, again, we want to replace this with the triple. That should replace the loss of a double. Man. -8. Hasn't changed anything. -7. Come on. This one I can put further backwards. Now, it's got to be less effective than the other one. Unfortunately, it just doesn't fit. This should allow me to move this one further back. Which allows me to push this one further back. Not quite enough, so I need to push this one further back. Damn it. I wanted to keep my funny ship. So I'm going to keep my funny ship. You hear me, game? The funny ship has been saved, mostly. We have the same amount of guns. Everything is mostly the same. It's a very long refit time, I have to admit. We can also probably make this go back to 9, which is good. Probably actually go down to 10, but who the fuck cares at this point? Is there anything else I need to upgrade? I don't think so, because we basically already did that. Yep. Now, the performance of these guns has just reached absolutely ridiculous levels. These things now have a range of 30 kilometers. Because they're not exactly short guns. Probably could have actually just lowered the length of the guns if I think about it now, but if I put this to 0. Yeah. How some people like to say in German, Kommando zurück. We're going to shuffle back forward. No, that was a little bit too far. That allows those 3 guns to turn. Are you still turning? No, you're not. No, I want to leave the funnel there, please. Seems good. Seems good. Secondary tower. Doesn't quite fit. It's one tick too short. Come on. There, oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. There we go. God damn. Now it's only 6 months instead of 7 months of refitting. Kept most of it intact. We needed to replace one turret with 2 triples up here instead, which is gonna be slightly wonky, but it's fine. We could actually replace even more barrels with these things instead, but it's okay. I like the funny ship. I think we have a few other 12-inch ships. But let's just quickly run through the lineup and remodel those. Which should just... For most of them, it should equate to just clicking the button off, refit, and clicking OK. 15, 12, 8, 7, 9, 15, 11, 14, 12, the Bond. 12.2-inch guns. There is definitely enough space for these guns to just be replaced by straight set-ins, so it's fine. Just need to click refit and then be done. Unless the weight doesn't fit. Weight fits. Good. 29-kilometer range. And they're not even extra range. They're just running the ballistic cap too, which is giving them quite a good performance. So, that's the Bond done. Also need to eventually run through my lineup of remodels and delete some old ones. So the Bond is done. That's 12 inches on the Terry. Triple 12s. The front one could maybe need to be shuffled forward a little bit, but there's enough space to do that, so it's fine. Actually, yeah, this one needs to be shuffled forward a tick. And this one does as well. Or backwards, but you get what I mean. Decent arcs. All is well. 29-kilometer range again on these guns. Completely ridiculous. Safe design. The Terry lives to fight another day. Next up, that's 13, 11, 10, 16, 10, 15, 14, 17, 10, 10, 16, 10, 11, 13, and that's where the old remodels start again. So that's already it. We don't actually have that many 12 inches, but enough to make it worth it. Because we need to keep our firepower up to a certain level. And modernizing everything is definitely a good idea. Now I'm going to click one more turn here, and unfortunately I think I'm going to have to end my stream after that. I would like to continue for a few hours, but unfortunately I cannot. I have to work tomorrow, which means I have to get up early, and that means I have to stop here. Which is what it is. Well, the next turn... Actually, maybe I can click next turn twice, unless we have another battle, but I think we should be okay. The enemy doesn't really have much to throw at us in terms of battles. Oh, I've also just realized our 15 light cruisers are done. So we can now throw them into remodel and immediately start remodeling them. Which we should probably actually do. There's a submarine, so that's entirely irrelevant. Don't care. Now we have 54 light cruisers. Not actually all that accurate because there's like 15 or so that are old style that need to be pulled out of service. We're gonna keep at least one of them, probably two, as museum pieces, so to speak. Oh no, it's a submarine. And it's heavily damaged. Chad of Italy has been conquered. We took the Solomon Islands, so that's good. That is very good. You're gonna move back the way you came from. A little bit of... Who's here? Why are you here? Actually, no, I'm gonna move it to the other side of the island, Majuro. Can't put a light cruiser in there, so I'm gonna put 2 destroyers there. Next up, we should have another light cruiser here. Yep, we'll mark the book. We're just gonna go back to Nomea. Then we have a battleship here, which is completely outdated and not technically ours. We just kind of captured it from the Russians at some point. You go to Fort Bayard or something, I don't really care. Then we have another light cruiser, this is the Crown Lord. You know what? You'll stay here. Because you can. Mine's on the Stuttgart. I think they actually came from Fort Bayard. Yep, you're gonna go to Haiphong instead. Actually, no, you can't because it's too small. That's a fairly big part for you guys. So, you are leaving, you are leaving, you are leaving, you are leaving. You are still here. Very good. And now we're going to go to finances, check our port size and everything. Good. Yep. We're still using a good chunk, but that's because we're still building very big battleships. Now we're going to go to ship design. Click on the Frauenlob remodel. For the simple reason that we need to refit like 15 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at the Schwalbe. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Proceed. That should be refitting 15 light cruisers immediately. Which is using, again, most of our capabilities here. But because we're still doing it while we're in, you know... Oh, we're actually building Spee as well. They're going to be done in 5 months. While we're doing it, because we're doing it in war, these should actually not be too expensive to run. Alright. Most of our ships are at sea, which is fair. We're at war in like 2 different theaters against 1 country. 1 more end turn, and that shall be it for today. There's another submarine attacking us. How horrible. Auto-resolve. Will you sink? Yes, you will. Thank God. German Empire gains control of Georgia. Now the Black Sea is ours. The only thing that is not ours is Romania, because that's been conquered by the Austrians at some point. Though Austria is also losing more and more territory to rebellions. Which is quite funny. People are not happy about them. And at some point, we're going to be the only people around them that they can strike out at. And that's going to be a bad idea. Now, they have some fairly big ports here. Some very big ports, actually. Oh boy. That's going to be a nasty territory to try to take. La Spezia and Livorno together. Same for that one. Sicily is going to be a good bridgehead here. If we ever... when we go back to fighting with the Italians again. But this shall be where we stop for the day. simply speaking, I am out of time for today. In fact, I've gone quite a bit over time. Quite a bit. We're still in the year 1929, but we're making good leeway, good progress, as we've taken large swathes of Russia. We're continuing to take more. Honestly, we might actually... I don't think that's ever going to succeed, but hey, who knows? This will, though. That definitely will. But anyway, let me check who I can raid for today. There should be a few people live. And maybe, with a little bit of luck, we might find the odd rare one to be live. Yep, there she is. Volprak is streaming today. So, obviously, we shall go and say hello to her, as she's playing Armored Core 6. I know that Nitro's on, but there's a person that's rare to see online. And I want to say hello to her, as she's playing Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, as I said a moment ago. And she's neat. Go call Volprak a nerd for me. Have a good night, and thank you very much for being here. Shiny streamer, exactly. Take care. Bye.